Alrighty, we are on day 2. Myself, I'm hoping our game plan or goal is going to be to get this thing mounted into the truck. I personally would like to get this thing running today. Not so much driving anything because we got to get the rear, we're doing stuff back there yet. I don't know if we'll have this thing all plumbed, but it would be nice to get the wiring on here, even if it's not mounted nicely, just the wiring on, hooked up. We got to find the harness and kind of go through it quick. But yeah, I think I said before, our goal is going to be to get this motor mounted. We're going to make like a removable plate, like the cross member of that. If we have to service this thing, or I should say if Karl ever has to service it, it is like boom, dropping out the bottom. That way you don't have to make any crazy access through the deck and things like that. But yeah, I think loosely that's the plan for now. So we'll see where we get. Anyways, again, if you haven't, don't know, Karl, we're kind of, like say, doing I'm kind of on holidays. So I said, hey, Karl, what you doing? I want to work on something? So here we are. Anyways, let's get started. All right, we have laid out Karl's harness here, and I'm just going through it, making sure nothing's been cut. Everything's looking good. The only thing I know, and he was saying, is this is for, I think it's for the motor, but it had a 60E behind it, and this setup is going to have an 80E. So I have to figure out what we have to change, because it has... The 80E transmissions have 2 speed sensors. This one's only got 1. And from what I've read, in this plug, we're gonna have to repin or move something. So I have to go through that. If I can, we have to find another speed sensor that we can use. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta Google and do a little looking up, so we'll figure that part out. Anyways, what we're gonna do, or what Karl's doing, is we're just using the whole fuse box like I've done in the past. I'm gonna try to go through this better. This is an older style, so this is drive-by cable, so that's gonna make it easier. I'm gonna try to use the starter relay again, but I don't usually have luck with that, so I'll do it with the starter relay, and then if that fails, I'm gonna go back to going inside this wiring harness, finding the purple wire, and which goes to the starter, which is actually wherever the starter is. It's actually this wire. So if this doesn't work, we're going to old school it, just key to starter as normal. But yeah, first thing do, I got to pull out my little Bible on LS motors here, and we're going to go through the fuse box again. I am going to quickly jam through it. I'm going to bring you folks back, explain what everything does, because I think the last one I just did was for a drive-by wire. So that's in the 55, the NAPCO. And this one's going to be the older style. So, hey, we're going to have a reference to both of them for you folks. It is pretty simple, but I want to run what we need, the essential. I'm going to nicely pull all the wires out. It's still going to have this ugly mess, but we can hide it so nicely underneath that truck. So there'll be so many places we can stick it. And maybe we'll just make a bracket off of the hanger in the back to hold it, just for convenience. Like the fuse panel will be here, or it'll be like maybe here or something. That way he can go through that little access hatch. If he has to look at a fuse or do something, he can get at it. So we'll kind of figure that out. Like I say, Karl's gonna do the motor mount. We're gonna do that. We can't fit a very big rad in here. Like there's room, but there's no room. So he's got this nice copper one. So I think we're gonna try to mock that one up when the time comes to for the cooling. We can always go aftermarket aluminum if it comes down to it, but this is like, I don't even know what this thing is. It kind of has a Ford Dodge feel to it. Oh, it is Dodge. It's a Chrysler Red. Which doesn't matter for what we're doing. But I think it's going to end up going like up front, like in the vicinity of here. So we'll have like tons of hoses and stuff running over to it, but that's not a big deal. Yeah, we're not sure where it's going, but it's going to go somewhere in this range. It'll have electric fan behind it, and yeah, should work okay. Because you can see the room, that rad just fit, and these cross flows are way too big to fit in there, so. Other than that, like I say, our goal is to do kind of like this, a reverse horseshoe, almost like a hearse mount, but not. It'll go up under the motor and around. So even if you had to service the motor, if you could lift it up on a hoist, let's say, or on jack stands, you could jack the motor up, it would support it there. You could drop that cross member, drop the oil pan, if you had to do something in there, so. Anyways, I am gonna go back, start doodling through that fuse box, and pick and choose what we need. So hopefully I can get this going. I kind of need to be able to power this thing up so I can plug the computer into here, to which then I can hook up to my laptop, and we can start programming. So this thing is set up for, I think it's a 5360E, but we're gonna have to change the OS on it so it sees that it has an 80E transmission attached to it. So I'm not gonna get that technical with you folks, because realistically most folks get their computer unlocked and they're good to go. So I won't get into that, but we'll get into this part here. I'll kind of strip it out and show you what's all good and not good on there to use. All right, we are kind of got the fuse box, everything situated or figured out anywho. The 99 to 02, they're different than when I did the 55 pickup. So anywho, we got, I'm using everything from LT1 swap, like normal, that I always use. He's got a write-up showing how to do the junction box for 99 to 02. And then he has another one showing 03 to 07. So that's how I was doing the 55 pickup. Anyway, we're just focusing on the 99 to 02 because that's what this one is. You can tell by the plug. It's got a red and blue plug in it. And it doesn't have an electric throttle. So you see me rip all the wires out of the fuse box. I kept, what you see is the 3 wires are all you need, supposedly, to make this one run, which should be fine. In the end, we needed, if you go off the grid, this is plug, what do they call this one? This is C1. I keep doing this. This is the C1 plug. So on here, we need C1, B11. So this is C1, it starts A, B, C, D, E, or something like that, A, B, C, D, E, F. And then we got 1 to 12 going up. So we need this pink wire, which is A9. That is your key power. And then we need B11, which is battery. This just goes straight to battery. I'm pretty sure I can piggyback into here. I'm going to confirm that once I do some powering up to some stuff here. Anyways, these are the 2, all you need out of this one. Nowhere did they say something about, the starter, anything else. So what I did is we just dug into this harness on this side, the middle one. This is your main plug. And I just snipped the purple wire. This one's going to be to your starter. And this is crank to start the motor. And then on the red plug, the only thing you need is this one down here, which is, this is to run your fuel pump. This is your fuel pump power. So, we got that. On this is called a C100 plug. So here I have it'll have my ODB port, message indicator light, there's some cruise control stuff. This is your speed sensor, tack, things like that are in here. There is a single pink wire in the 99 to 02 you have to take out because this powers your transmission solenoids. And because this one's earlier, non-electric throttle, because I think 02 they did the first year with the electric throttle or something. Could be wrong. You snip the pink wire out. You could put this on a 10 amp fuse and piggyback it with this pink wire and you're good. Transmission's powered up, everything's fine. This wire though does loop through the system, comes back, and it comes back to A, B, C, D, E2. It comes back into E2, but it just goes straight into the fuse box and comes right back out F2. So what I did, and if you have said page, it'll tell you this as well, but E2 piggybacks to F2, I unplugged that and I ran it up into B, I think it'd be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So B9. I ran it there because this is for the electric throttle and this one doesn't have it. So basically I just plugged it into there. I went into the fuse box. We added a fuse. Well, this one had a fuse in there. I don't know why. But ETC is the electric throttle, so we added a 15 amp fuse there. That's powering our transmission. And we should be golden. So the only steps now is I got to go through the harness. We got to figure out this plug because we need to pin this for an 80E. And I think we have to add like a second speed sensor in there. I don't know for sure. I'll go into it. I won't go in great detail because most of you folks probably are using the motor and transmission combo together. So it's not like we're trying to reinvent the wheel as we're doing here. So anyways, once I get this fine-tuned in, I want to actually just try to power up the fuse box. I want to pin up this ODB port so we can plug the computer in and I can actually start unlocking and switching stuff around. So my goal is to get this wire slung on there as soon as Karl's done making up the mounts. If it's not ready right away, I'll probably just start running the fuel system. We'll kind of get that going. And yeah, with any hope, we're firing this up by the afternoon here. Anyways, I am going to continue messing around with this stuff and I'll bring you right back. All right, I'm going to explain this as I go because I'm going to get distracted and not remember what I all did. Anywho, for an 80E, 60E, the difference is going to be that there's 2 wires down here. You got to take, there's 2 wires. There's a dark brown and there was a tan and brown wire down there, I think. Anyways, the brown wire comes out of here. It's going to go over here. These 2 wires just come out completely, and you'll piggyback them to another speed sensor because the 80E takes 2 speed sensors. So anywho, that part is done. Now I have to go into this plug, and we got to move some wires around because essentially whatever these were, they're dead, and we got to tell the computer what it is now. So I'm going to give the quick peanut run how to do this. Again, most people will never do this. They're more interested in just this part. So anywho, let's quickly swap those around because it sounds like I just got to move them from the blue to the red plug or something. I'll tell you super quick when I get there. All right, so this was the final step. So of this plug, these 2 wires we disconnected, we just had to switch them around so when I do flash the computer, it knows that, well, we got the second speed sensor in there. So we took the 1 wire, which is the white one, from the blue plug here, which was pin 79, wherever it is. On the back of these, they're always labeled with all the numbers. So we took 79, we opened this up, we kind of pushed the pin through, and then we moved it to the red plug on this one here. We put it on pin 22, so that's where the white wire went. And then we had to grab the brown and the brown with the black wire. So, or I guess it's called tan. I call it brown, but it's tan and black. We moved that one from pin 42 on here, wherever it was. I think it's over here, and moved it to 23. So now we should be golden as far as the transmission's been pinned and good to go. Now we just got to get power into the system to the ODB port to where I can start flashing the computer. All right, well, I'm still farting around trying to find what's called a segment swap, which is to change this thing from a 60E to a 4L80E. While I've been just doing what I feel like nothing, Karl's kind of designed and pretty much ready to mount said new motor mount. So I guess he's kind of just semi-mocking it up here. Yeah. You want me to grab the one side?
Ready to check it out.
See if it measures right into there.
Well, no.
Hopefully it goes in there right, and then it's gonna, I guess you're gonna be building some tabs off to hold onto the motor mounts.
That's next, yeah, just kind of hover the motor mount where it's gonna be and then build some tabs. Careful, a little hot on the end there, but.
Yeah, finding a cooler spot to grab. Yeah, somehow I gotta get past. I'm past. Dang it, that's hot. Trying to get past the spring on this side. Oh, you're into the sway bar, or are you just trying to do your side first?
Am I past
Okay,
the spring?
yeah, you're past the spring now. Yep. Dang it, hot.
What are you, not a welder? I have gloves on.
What's the goal? Get it in intact, or?
Yeah, I'm not gonna tack it right this second, but just,
Okay.
just stick it up there and just see if she goes. Oh yeah,
So,
width-wise, not terrible.
yeah, that's okay. So we're just gonna kind of build a, yeah. Well, it's kind of sitting there right now.
Yeah, so I'll just build off with a couple little stanchions.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I guess if you're doing it that way, may as well just move it right under, or can we move it right under? No. You'd probably go up to that spring first.
Probably could move it under, yeah. It's just a close to kind of get us there and then build off of it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give him a hand. Give him 2 hands of help. And we'll check it out after. Alrighty, I do not know how to make this interesting, but I have found what they call a segment swap. So what you do is you actually, I found a truck that had a similar OS to this one. So I've uploaded it in. It has, like our file has the 60E. This one has the 80E that we need. So what we do is we just do the compare, go the segment swap. We want the transmission diagnostics and transmission to copy all those parameters over, and we should be golden after that. I'll throw the speedometer stuff just for the heck of it. Anyways, we're going to import those, and then when we close this, it'll want to save it as a new file. We're going to save it. We're going to unlock the VATs, remove the rear O2s, and we're just going to do a full write, and then technically the computer side of this is done. So we'll be able to start working on the fuel system. Karl's just halfway done with the motor mounts. The transmission mount, yeah, won't be too long. We'll be firing it up. I think we've reached the end of this here. Well, for me right now anyways. We are doing a full right, so we've removed the vats. We've set up the electric fans. We'll have to go through the harness and pin for the electric fan, so maybe I'll show you that really quick. There's going to be 2 wires that we're going to be running out of there. And they're going to be, well, I'll have to wait till this is done because they're into the computer plugs here. We'll have to add some wires off, and they are going to run the relays. Well, they'll trigger relays, and fans trigger the negative side of the relays. So I'll quickly show that one when we're done. But once this is done, like done writing, I show you that, I am going to be starting on the fuel system. And we got the old trusty flare tool here, so we are golden. You're making some fancy stuff. All right, I was going to show you the pinning for the electric fans. So again, if you go to the LT1 Swap, the website, they got all these right. I was like this, everybody looks at this is like my Bible or something, but, well, it is, but everything I got is from lt1swap.com. That's the website anyways. Anywho, through the schematics here, or basically the wiring diagram, the red, blue plug, we have, because we're doing dual electric fans, on the red plug, 33 is, we just snip the wire back. This is going to do the negative trigger on the fan when it gets to, I don't know what we said, let's say 200 degrees or 210. It'll turn on the second fan. So that one's good. I'm going to steal pin 16 out of here, which is not used for anything, on the red plug. And it's just for the 4-wheel drive switch signal. We don't care. I got to take it out of here and put it in pin, if I remember right, 42 on this side. So I guess if you had a car, this would be pinned already. It's not on these ones. That's one of the pins in the end here. You basically just pop this cap off, poke through the little hole in the back, and you can go push the fitting in, and then that will run the turn the relay on. With the fuse box, I'm just going to clarify something, because once I powered this unit up, I realized like this one, I said was 12 volt all the time power. When you put your battery on and it feeds power into this thing, this is, as per the instructions they say, this is 12 volt for your key. So I guess if you wanted to run your vehicle off of this, you can. This will give you power to your key. It's not needed. Really, all you need is this pink, this fuel pump one, and if you're piggybacking and giving this fuse box power, it just seems to power everything in there. So it'll do it off the battery like it's supposed to. Anyway, I'm going to pull this pin out, we're going to pin it into here, and then we're going to get started on the fuel system. We got the wiring done, so we got these labeled for Karl. We got our 2 pins, so the one we moved, which is on the blue plug, 42. This is the electric fan 1, so this is your Z fan 1, and it's just a negative to run the relay. And then on the red plug, which was like the evap door or something, we got E fan 2. So hopefully I'm done for the most part with the electrical. Not going to bore you folks anymore with this, I hope. Anyways, with that said, just a mental note, if you ever get a harness and somebody's like cut these up, there's supposed to be 3 grounds on it. There's going to be one by your water temp sender, which is this one, which was cut, and if you didn't know that, you would have had a really bad time trying to start it. And then at the back of the motor, there's 2. You can see these, somebody's cut them, but we'll put new ends on them, and they're supposed to ground out there. So anywho, we got our fuel filter, because this motor, for whatever reason, being the year, actually I think it's an 02, so I don't know if stuff's been changed or this is the last year. It's hit and miss if it had throw out like drive-by cable, but anywho, it's got it doesn't have the regulator on there, so we got the Corvette style filter. If I can remember, I'm going to put all the part numbers and stuff in the description. If not, hopefully Karl still has everything and he'll put it in his video there, but the plan is this is the system is all done here. So we got lines here. I'm probably going to flare it, pop the filter in, or the one side doesn't. It'll have like a connector, because this is the out to the motor. And then they're nicely labeled. So this is in, and then this is the return. So we'll have to make some small connectors into here somewhere. What we'll do with the push connects, we'll stab our filter in. This thing's going to feed up to the motor. And I don't know. That's like, that's simple. It's done. Oh, no, my bad. Somewhere in here, we're going to have the fuel pump after this, or before this, after this. Yes. We'll probably mount this sucker back here somewhere. We're going to put the fuel pump up here, to which then it's going to piggyback up into there. So, yes, I think we got that sorted out now. All right, let's make some lines. I've started working out the fuel system. There's a lot going on, but it's necessary for what it is. So it's only because of the way all the connectors have to work. We got some 3/8 and 5/16. The goal here is going to be, this is going to go to the motor, to which we have to basically make a connection up to there. We're going to have to make a steel line that will like push connect into here and into here. So it's kind of a silly small whatever we got to do. No problem. I'm going to have to make a connector to the steel line that's on the tank currently that we can crimp from here to here. So these don't need to be very long. And same from here to the pump. We need to make one in there, to which then we have a 5/16 return, has to connect to the steel lines to the tank. This truck currently doesn't have any kind of style push connect, or this frame slash cab. They do thread together and stuff, but so anyways, they come back. What I'm going to do is just cut these lines, and we'll repurpose the back half, but the front, we're just going to have a lot of stuff happening in a short amount of time before it gets to here. A lot. One down, many to go. Karl doesn't have a tool here, so I made the same one we got at home. We drill a couple holes in a block, sandwich them together, a little dab of oil, a big hammer, and we're just going to continue making all of our fittings really quick. These ones don't need to be very long, but we're going to kind of try to tie everything together because it's got to fit in that short little space there. So we're just going to keep banging stuff together here. And I guess I don't know, Karl's going to get the motor mount. He's got those going. So yeah, we're super, super close here. Wow.
Pretty much there.
Almost. Well, he's got one mount tacked in. He's got another one there, so I guess he's gonna put that one in. Oh, if I don't throw everything on the ground.
You broke it.
We're gonna, he's gonna get the cross member in, and I guess he's probably making a mount, that's my guess. While he's doing that, I'm gonna be putting the exhaust manifolds back on. I'm gonna sling out the wiring. I'll get the starter in. We're trying to get to the end of the day here. We're hoping to at least just fire it up. That's kind of the goal.
You want to make some noise.
Yes. So we want to get that in. Once he's on the cross member, and I kind of started with there, I'm just going to run the fuel lines. They're all good. We'll spot those on. And yeah, it should be pretty much ready. Add a bit of fuel, and hopefully everything I did works and it just fires up.
I have faith. I have faith in you.
Well, we have our pump, everything mounted. Everything's fitting a little tighter than I thought. And I might shorten up some of these lines, kind of redo them. Because this one ended up like, I don't know, excessively long. So I might take out like a foot out of this line. I don't know why. I sort of feel like I got these lines backwards or something, because this one's kind of long, this one's kind of short. So we can fix that. That's not a problem. So we'll deal with that after. For now, like I said, Karl's getting some fuel. We got everything run. We got our grounds up here, our grounds down there. We have to be careful here because he doesn't have the junction box. So he's gonna have to get a different battery cable, but for now, this will be fine. We've kind of just temporarily ran our fuel line, like we kind of temporarily ran everything here because we just want to hear this sucker fire and we can call her a day. That's kind of where we're at. Oil. Yeah, I think we're down to just fuel. Like I hear the fuel pump cycle so I don't know. Hopefully it fires up and I did everything right. I have everything all plugged in, so I'll kind of just fire it once and then I'll hook up my computer, just test it to see that I can talk to the transmission right and all that stuff. See if it brings up any codes. I think it'll be fine. We still got to put like the water pump, all the accessories, everything on it. I think because Karl, I'm guessing tomorrow, like our plan is going to be to cut all this free. He wants to move his diff to where he wants it and start working on the air ride stuff. And then I'll probably hit up into the front and I guess just a bunch of junk has to come out of the cab. He was telling me before, so the clutch pedal's got to come out, the brake pedal's got to come out. It's all like air height and stuff. He's going to be mounting a pedal under the floor, like a swing. He's mounting, what do you call them? One of those, like I have in the 50, my 55, under floor pedal. So he's doing this setup. He's setting it up with a hydro boost. So I don't know, that'll be an interesting combo. And then we'll be running all new brake lines and stuff like that. So I don't know, it'd be cool. It's gonna be close. Anyways, till Karl gets back, we'll get some fuel in there and hopefully no issues and she just fires right up.
Works now.
All right, see what happens.
If nothing else, it runs.
Well, that wasn't so bad. There's no.
That wasn't hard.
Doing else swaps is easy, guys. As long as you have Brent here.
Shower down here. Perfect.
Oh man, that's amazing. End of day 2 with a fire, the good kind.
Awesome. Well, that went pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that.
Can't be any happier than I am.
I think that was a successful day 2.
Oh, epic. It's awesome.
So I think tomorrow's plan is going to be rear or...
Well, we've got brakes that we could do, like mount hydro boost
Yeah.
and brake pedal. We could get steering linkage going, steering box mounted. There's the 4-link for the back that we can start building. I don't have all the bushings for the 4-link. Elio's got a couple pairs and I'm waiting on ordering a couple, so I don't know if we'll actually get that to be fully bolted, but we can certainly fab all that stuff out and build the back end of the chassis. So we have options, for sure. There's
Yeah.
a few more majors that we can start jumping into.
Yeah, I knew you were talking about that, so I was feeling I was going to strip some of the stuff out of the cab we were talking about, some brake parts, things like that.
Yeah.
So I could get the jump on that tomorrow. I think we got to do a couple fab. We got to mount the PCM and the fuse box here. And then I guess figure out where the battery's got to go. We got to do a little more plumbing on the front of the motor here because there's no water pump. Anything there yet?
Could mount the radiator.
Radiator could be there. I know I showed them that one, what we were going to use. So there's a few things to fart around on the front yet. I think you had a wiring harness, so I was just going to loosely string that out for you, like just get it into some zones for you, and then
Yeah, that'd be great.
we'd figure it out from there. Yeah, I don't know.
Sweet.
I think we did pretty good.
I think so. That's awesome, man. Stoked.
So I think that's where I'm going to leave this one. This is going to be a multi-part / day deal. So I think that's her for now. I want to thank you folks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. And if you haven't already, check out Karl's channel because he's going to have his version of what went on today. So
It's going to be interesting. Like, 2 different perspectives of working all day.
alrighty guys, we'll see you later. Bye.
Yeah.